Chapter 17, Bonds of Union. The day after Merlin's defeat. You stand before a dressing room mirror in Camelot's castle, making sure your hair is just right for your wedding. Are you sure it's alright? Your maid of honor gives you a long, suffering look and nods. I promise, you look wonderful. Irritatingly wonderful, in fact. Yeah, well, if you think so, it must be true. Because I'm a paragon of honesty? Because I really seem to be your favorite person? Come now, that's unfair. I admit I wasn't thrilled at the thought of you marrying Arthur when you first arrived. Goodness me, I had no idea. But that is why I've grown fond of you. I do appreciate a woman with a strong backbone and a stronger sense of humor. Are you saying you will be glad to be my sister now? Sister-in-law. But yes, the idea of us becoming a family is no longer a disappointment. Wow. Morgana. You honor me with such lofty praise. I don't intend to make a habit of doing it. I should hope not. I love you just the way you are. Love? Yes, this is what we do as a family. We love them. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Admit it, you like me. A little bit begrudgingly, and because I do. She turns to a freestanding wardrobe and pulls out a glittering dress tailored to your exact measurements. I will admit that this wedding gown is surprisingly exquisite, and that you will look fabulous in it. But I thought you just said I looked great the way I was. Why do I need to improve? Nani? You've unlocked true love's course. It is everything I could possibly hope or have hoped for in a dress. And I was right, it suits you admirably. You actually sound like you mean it. I never lie about fashion, Guinevere. You will be a bride you write songs about. Mark my words. Thank you, Morgana, for everything. She helps you make your final preparations. Are you ready? Beyond ready. She hesitates and pulls you into the briefest of hugs. And I wish you luck and joy. Morgana escorts you to the door of a grand cathedral beside the castle, then hurries inside to take her place with the wedding party. You stand outside the grand doors for a moment, taking a deep breath. Today I will marry Arthur. All the pain, tragedy is finally behind us, and my future lies through those doors. The doors swing open before you, and trumpets blare in welcome. You take your first steps down the aisle. As you take your next step, everyone within the cathedral turns to face you. The vast crowd is dotted with friendly and familiar faces, many of them smiling encouragingly. There's our Guinevere. Good luck, princess. Huzzah for the princess. Even some commoners are here, standing shoulder to shoulder with the court, and beaming as they see you. She's a sight to behold, isn't she? Like something out of a storybook. I'll wave to the people, the knights, the people. Wave to the citizens, many clearly far from home, and they give a resounding cheer in response. She'll be a queen for the histories, no doubt about it. Oh, and you can read histories now, can you? Well, I think he's right. She's gonna be perfect. Arthur's waiting for you at the head of the aisle, dressed in his finest garb and looking every inch the king of Camelot. His gaze drifts over your wedding finery, and in awe of his eyes tells you that Morgana was right. You do look exquisite. Guinevere, you'll look like a queen. Like your queen, I hope. From this day until the end of our days. Lancelot stands next to Arthur, as his proud best man giving you an approving smile, and Morgana steps up to your side as maid of honor. There is a flourish of light and sound, and the Lady of the Lake appears beside the altar, her otherworldly features warmed by a smile. Thank you all for attending this auspicious day in Camelot's history. The two souls before you have given much for our kingdom, so in thanks for their efforts I wished to officiate today's ceremony. I now ask the happy couple to join hands and kneel. You take Arthur's hands and sink to your knees with him. Everything but the warmth of his grasp and the lady's ringing voice seems to fade away. The two of you represent the best of Camelot and the brightest hope of our future. Word has already spread of the evil you stopped yesterday. But more importantly, you are a boon to each other, as any wedding couple should be. Always remember that you are stronger together than you could ever be apart. Arthur's thumb sweeps over the backs of your fingers as he smiles at you, and you know that the lady speaks true. I wish you both peace and happiness, and a long rule as most beloved couple in all of Camelot. A cheer erupts from the crowd, and the Lady Lake lets the cheer fade a little before she solemnly raises her hand. King Arthur, if you would speak your vows? Oh no, we didn't work on those. Oh no, quick! Another chapter? He nods, gazing deep into your eyes as he lifts his voice. This marriage began as a thing of politics, an arrangement between two strangers who had never met. I hoped that there might be some fondness between us. I did not dare dream of love. I did not know how to dream before I met you. And though duty brought you into my life, you brought dreams with you. You brought joy, and finally love. You showed me that even a king deserves to follow his heart to what he truly wants. And what I want more than anything is to be your husband. There's applause and some happy tears among the crowd, but you only have eyes for Arthur blinking away, happy tears of your own. Princess Guinevere, you may now speak your vows. How am I supposed to follow that? With whatever is in your heart. Very well. I vow to be your devoted wife. There will be times when we must be rulers, and I will carry that burden with you. But I am not here today for Camelot. I am here for the man I love, promising that I will be as gentle with your heart as you have been with mine. You lift Arthur's hand to yours and kiss his fingers softly. I followed my heart to you, and I never intend to let you go. Then I am the luckiest man that has ever lived. And with that, let the ring bearer approach with the rings. A murmur runs through the crowd as the young Mordred appears, carefully balancing 2 rings on a pillow. Once at Morgana, and she inclines her head ever so slightly in acknowledgement. Here you go, your shiny rings. Thank you, nephew. The entire room seems to hold its breath as you exchange rings. The smooth golden circles slide on your finger like it was always belonged. This is happening. This is truly happening. Rise! No longer is Princess Guinevere of Camelot, but is Queen Guinevere of Camelot. You rise to your feet with Arthur as the assembled crowd bursts into cheers. Well, go on. Kiss your king. You fling your arms around his neck and pull him into a blistering kiss. His arms slip around your waist and he dips you into an even deeper one. Oh. Your body is pressed tightly to his as he kisses you fervently, oblivious to the cheers of the onlookers. There is only you and this endless kiss. Until... Your Majesty, let your wife breathe. Apologies, my love. You have nothing to apologize for. Arthur breaks away with a grin, and laughter spills across the crowd as the Lady of the Lake raises her arms. And now it is time to celebrate. All the guests join you and your husband in the castle's grand hall, which is draped in fine fabrics, strewn with flowers for the occasion. It looks very pretty. You take a seat at the head of the longest table with Arthur, to many more cheers from the crowd. So this is what married life feels like? Our ears ringing with the applause of our friends. That and having you beside me. He twines one hand with yours, smiling, and the two of you rise to address your guests. Cherished friends, thank you so much for joining us as we celebrate our union. This is a joyous day for me and for Camelot. And for me. Yes, Your Majesty, we should hope so. A round of laughter sweeps through the hall. My king and I wish you every happiness. Thank you all for being here. As you take your seats, a servant bustles over and curtsies. May I serve you, Your Majesties? Of course. He places a tureen of rich, fragrant stew in front of you. A spiced bean and noodle soup, as you requested. Simple and delicious. Thank you. Please pass on my compliments to the kitchen. I will, my lady. You tuck into the fine food along with many other side courses. Kay has prepared. While your guests enjoy the plates before them, you share a smile with Arthur. Is everything alright? It's perfect. You grasp your hand and lifts it to his lips. How does it feel to be queen? It feels grand, but not as grand as being your wife. I'm sure ruling the kingdom will keep us quite busy, but I am most excited that you are mine. I look forward to sharing the private moments that all married couples share. There's a flash of heat in his eyes and a curve in his smile that makes your heart beat a little faster. All of my moments are yours, Guinevere. The bright mornings, the warm nights, and everything in between. He lifts one of your hands to his lips for a kiss, just as Kay stands, lifting a tankard to command everyone's attention. As Arthur's foster brother, I claim the rights of first toast. Speech, speech, speech! There has never lived a more noble, caring, and honest king. I admit at times I despaired at the thought of Arthur finding a bride worthy of him. I thought such a woman might not exist. I thought wedding toasts were supposed to be complimentary. Not all of them, no. But I was wrong. Happily, gladly wrong. And also it made sense what he said. He raises his tankard high and the other guests follow suit. So I toast to Arthur and Guinevere. Long may you live and rule as one. Thank you, brother. On this happy day, I'd like to offer my felicitations, cousin. May you and your wife always share health and happiness. Wine lifts his goblet, and then Morgana also rises, lifting her own drink. I also offer a toast to King Arthur and Queen Guinevere. Congratulations, brother. Live well and be happy. Aww. It's almost like we're having an effect on her. She's lightening up. As the crowd cheers in agreement, the three of them approach the high table and offer you a box carved with an elaborate crest. Oh, it's lovely. Elaborate crest, my ass. It's just a flowering tree. Where did you find this? It's been in my mother's side of the family for generations. Mine and Arthur's. It may not have the same flair as a Pendragon crest, but we thought it fitting to welcome you to the family. Thank you all. It's an honor to be welcomed with such an open arms. As the trio makes their way back to their seats, the servants bring out an elaborate cake for dessert. Here we are. Pretty. It looks delicious. I'm now gonna eat it all. Nom, 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 nom. It's a pleasure to bake for such an occasion. The cake is so light that it practically melts on your tongue. Some guests go back for seconds, while others mingle throughout the hall. Would you like some more cake? In a minute. I think I'll visit some of their guests first. You rise from your table and search for a few faces among the crowd. I'll talk to Lancelot first. Out of the corner of your eye, you spot Lancelot talking to Sir Gareth. When you cross the Grand Hall, Lancelot bows as you approach as Sir Gareth melts into the crowd. Oh, guess Gareth didn't want to talk to me. Queen Guinevere. I was just telling Gareth about my travel preparations. Oh, do you have exciting plans? I plan to embark on another quest. Nothing as fantastical as battling wizards and visions of the future. but I always did prefer more classic dangers like dragons. I wish you safety in your travels, then, and all the luck in the world. He bows again, this time taking your hand. He kisses it gallantly and then steps back. And I wish you the same. Truly, Guinevere, Arthur is one of the best men, and he will make you happy. Lancelot, I hope you find your happiness, too. I believe I already have. However, I have felt I have also gained a true friend since you came to Camelot. One I trust as deeply as I do Arthur. There is nothing a knight at the Round Table wants more than a trusted companions he would gladly fight for. He tilts his hand upward in the direction of Merlin's former tower. Or fight alongside. Thank you, Lancelot. That means more than I can say. He clears his throat and nods, looking around the room. Well, you have many more guests to greet, but I shall see you soon. Someone has to keep threats to the royal couple at bay. Of course. Thank you for your service, Sir Lancelot. It's my pleasure, Your Majesty. Morgana. Spot Morgana leaning against a wall near the front of the hall, gazing out into the crowd. Morgana, how are you? She greets you with a rare smile. I'm well, thank you. It was an honor to have Mordred in the wedding. It must have been strange bringing him to court for the first time. She looked over to where the boy is running around the hall with Sir Brandon's daughter. Tag, you're it! Not for long. Honestly, it's a relief to be able to finally do so. For several years, there's been a bounty on children bearing my son's name. It was one of the many reasons I kept his existence a secret. Yesterday, while exploring Merlin's laboratory, I discovered that he was responsible for the bounty. I saw as much in a vision when he had me captive in the dungeons. I've been meaning to tell you, but, well, there has been little time. You literally had a whole day. Did you see any hint of why he wanted my son dead? You remember that battle you saw? Mordred in sinister armor striking his uncle. Your husband with a mortal blow. Merlin saw a vision of Mordred slaying Arthur, a much older Mordred, in a battle along the coast. It was not clear why they were fighting, but... No, that cannot. My son would never... As her voice rises in alarm, you place a comforting hand on her arm. Just because something has been seen, that does not mean it has been written. You helped me prove as much yesterday when we stopped Merlin. Whatever that vile man saw, I do not believe it will come to pass. He pointed across the room to where Mordred's game of tag has led him to shelter behind Arthur. He peers out from behind his uncle's legs, scanning the room for a veil. Thank you for hiding me, Uncle. Of course. I'm here to help with anything you need, Mordred. Whether it's tag or learning the ways of court or what sorts of things do you enjoy when you're not playing tag? I like catching butterflies in the woods back home. Oh, really? Well, then we have a garden here that I think you and your mother would both like. Can you take us there? Arthur glances across the room, and for a moment, his eyes meet yours. He turns back to Mordred with a smile. I'd be delighted to. And so would your new Aunt Guinevere. Oh, good. I like her, too. Perhaps by letting them finally get to know one another, you have already clipped the thread of any fate where they would become enemies. Morgana does not respond right away, still watching her son and her brother play together, and she hastily wipes her eyes. I hope you're right. And I'm glad that Arthur helped me call off the bounty, and that Merlin troubles us no more. She sighs. It is a wistful sound, but one tinged with hope. And now, will you stay at court? Perhaps, now that I know how much it means to Arthur, and now that he understands some of what I faced here. I think your presence always meant a great deal to him, but I hope he can make your time here easier. Knowing him, he will not give up until he has. Stubbornness seems to run in our family. That is a valuable quality, Lady Morgana, when paired with a decent heart. I would never claim to have one of those. But I will try to do well here, for my brother's sake and my son's. Nothing. I'm not going to say it. Moving on. You meet several other guests and make acquaintance of several more, all of whom offer congratulations on your marriage. Until finally a voice calls out to you from one of the long tables. Your Majesty, a moment of your time. A cluster of knights waves you over to the table, all of them grinning widely. What is it, Sir Percival? I have a question for you. Let's say you're facing down a particularly fearsome rabbit. A rabbit? Also a fearsome one. A particularly fearsome rabbit. A beast of legend. Even if some here may doubt the tales of it. Well, I do not. So I wanted to ask, what weapon would you choose to vanquish such a creature? I would choose a pocket full of carrots. Carrots? Of course. If the beast is truly that fearsome, best to befriend it. Together, we could strike fear into the hearts of our enemies. I told you she'd agree with me. Yvonne sighs and slaps a gold coin down on the table. Yvonne, you know better than to go against Sir Percival when coin is involved. The lad's instincts are uncanny. And yet I do it every time. Gawain smiles as Lancelot approaches, slings an arm around his shoulders. A look of surprise and relief flashes across Lancelot's face before he grins at his fellow knight. What shall we do with ourselves, Gawain, now that the biggest danger we face is Percival's cunning? We shall enjoy some peace and quiet and keep our coin business secured. Gareth slams his empty mug down on the table. I can't wait to undertake our first quest in Queen Guinevere's name. Imagine how glorious they will be. I actually had an idea about that. Arthur walks over as several of his knights whisper to one another. You greet your husband with a kiss, and he wraps an arm around your waist and tilts his head at them. What trouble are they plotting now? Some trouble in our names, it appears. We were just thinking, wouldn't it be grand to end the evening with a quest to the Knights of the Round Table? Have a special goblet. A party grail, which we used to pass it around on special occasions. For good luck, you see. Used to? We haven't seen it in a few years. It was an extravagant party with an equally extravagant amount of drinking. And it disappeared under mysterious circumstances. No one has seen it since. To be fair, they haven't looked very hard. Morgana joins the group, arcing an eyebrow teasingly at her cousins. True, but we could find it tonight. An excellent vintage of wine to enjoy with it. Will you join us on our quest? With these nights, it would make for a memorable evening. A quest for the party grail. I accept. Also, subsequently, that choice falls on 2332. Where are we? Locum 23. God damn right. Excellent, and follow me, fellow knights and grail seekers. The group romps through the castle's darkened halls, chatting and laughing. I take it we are retracing the steps of the Grail's last whereabouts. Indeed we are! That faithful knight took the Grail and us all over the castle. But the legends of that party speak of our time in wine cellars, dungeons, gardens. That is quite a journey you all went on. That's one word for it. Well, Guinevere, where should we look first? Let's look in the wine cellar. It seems, after all, the likeliest place. You make your way to the surprisingly expansive, well-stocked wine cellar. Some of these vintages are quite rare. How have they survived Gawain's presence? The cook is very protective of his cellar. I know what I can and can't get away with. Speaking of wine being terrified, I remember drinking from the goblet here while he recounted his encounter with the Green Knight. Oh, the finest tale ever told. I I have heard it so many times that I could recount it as if it were my own. That's why I tried to spare us another retelling by challenging going to an arm wrestling match. That's right, and then I challenged Lancelot, and it devolved into an hour-long tournament of arm wrestling from there. I hate arm wrestling. No, I've seen some shit go wrong with that stuff. No. Just a simple snap, crackle, pop. Oh, I'm not even kidding. And you all just started arm wrestling for fun? They are knights. What else do you expect? It was a grand time, though I forget who won. But certainly not you, or we would never have heard the end of it. So, we must have set the goblet down, perhaps on the top shelf? Give me a boost, Kay. I want to check the highest shelves. Step on someone else, Gareth. Here. Lancelot laces his fingers together for Gareth, who steps up and cranes his neck. No, nothing. There's plenty of wine, but no goblets. And then continue onward. Where should we search next? Why is it up to me? Why don't you people pick some shit? Well, let's look in the dungeons. The dungeons? If there's any place that would be improved by a few drinks. You make your way down to the recesses of the castle, where warrens of hallways connect in an underground maze. The place is still delightfully grim. You only say that because you weren't recently in a residency. It does bring my mind to a few memories from the night of the Grail vanished. I remember everyone sharing tales of their knighting ceremonies here. A feasting on trays of freshly baked pastries I acquired from the cook. As I recall, she nearly slapped you over the front. Those weren't meant for a feast the next night. It was still worth the risk. After Gawaine's pastries and a few drinks, I offered to knight everyone in a new secret nightly organization. The Knights of the Scone Table. The knights laugh, but Morgana heaves a long-suffering sigh. Must all of my relatives be embarrassing? I sometimes ask myself the same. Gareth and I tried using the title on one quest, but the person we were helping fled, making us mad. Knights. We are Knights of the Scone Table. We will save you from that delicious pastry. I don't think they were entirely wrong. Well, let's check all the cells, I suppose. You split apart to examine every dark, gloomy cell, but the goblet is nowhere to be found. And we must keep looking. Well, there's only one place left to look. Now let's look in the gardens. If I were having a celebration, that's where I would go. And that's where we're all going, anyway. Make your way outside the garden by colorful fireflies. As you peer through the flowers in search of the goblet, a look of recognition dawns on Lancelot's face. Oh no. This is where Gawain broke out his personal brew. The nectar of giants! I'm sure that foul mixture is what made us forget the night's events. I'm my cousin. He likely threw in some magical herb he found on a quest. I researched giant crest in the library, perfectly safe despite being a potent intoxicant. Potent is an understatement. Lancelot climbed into a tree and howled at the moon. Why did you have to remind me of that? And Arthur armed himself with a cook's wooden spoon and commanded us to carry him around on the bench. But by then none of us could walk straight to save our lives, so we sent Arthur tumbling out into a bed of flowers. Not my finest moment as king, but a memorable experience nonetheless. I wish I'd been there to see it. So she was gone at that point. What I'm hearing is that it's very possible someone dropped the goblet out here. They'll examine every inch of the grounds, but to no avail. And the quest must go on. You head back into the castle halls, but your companions are at a loss. We searched all over the place all night. And yet, there's no sign of the grail. Did we forget somewhere? What about the kitchen? I would welcome some mid-quest respite I bet the cook has leftovers from tonight's feast hidden away. Not for a break for the quest. Throughout the night, it sounds like you raided the cook's cellar. Stole pastries from her tray, used her wooden spoon as a scepter. The more I hear, the more embarrassing the night sounds. My point is, someone clearly made several trips to the kitchen. Ah, and the grail could be there. You find yourself in the kitchen staring down the head cook who stares impassively back at you. Good evening, madame. We come seeking the grail. So after all this time, you finally come for it. So, you have it? Aye. I am the guardian of the grail. It was entrusted to me, and I swore to keep it out of the wrong hands. Entrusted by who? Sir Gawain. He left it here while stealing away with all the scones he could carry. He promised he'd be back for it soon. That was 2 years ago. Camelot lost its party grail because of this? We should dub you Gawain the Forgetful. Let me grab a wooden spoon so I can make the name official. He plucks a spoon from the knight's counters and gestures at a bashful Gawain. I shall name thee Sir Gawain the Forgetful, Knight of the Scone Table. I joined you all hoping for a drink, and now I'm drowning in fools. Let's look on the bright side now. We can recover the grail. Per your request, in order to receive the grail, you must answer the riddle. Uh-oh. We have to answer a riddle on Drunken Gawain, made up 2 years ago. Oh. Don't you know the answer, Sir Gawain? Of course. What was the riddle again? In spring I look gay, decked in comely array. In summer, more clothing I wear, as colder it grows. I throw off my clothes, and in winter, quite naked, appear. Oh, I have no clue. What am I? An idiot is what you are. Not a clue. Go on, we are sparring tomorrow, so I can hit you. This is an opportunity to solve the riddle ourselves. Think of it as a test of will. You're all testing my will. I agree with her. Answer my riddle, and the grail is yours. Okay, let me think about this for a minute. Okay. I thought about this, they're all really good. I feel like this is just 33% chance to be wrong. However, I'm going to make it 34% chance to be right, and go with tree. Congratulations, you may pass. She pulls a leather pouch from a shelf in the larder, hands it over, and you open it, and a gorgeous goblet falls into your hands. Our great quest is finished. Hey, what name do I get for being the riddle solver? Thank you, my lady, for being such a conscientious guardian of the grail. Now that we have retrieved it all we need to do is celebrate. Finally, we can drink something. And you all make your way up to the moonlit tower. I love this tower. It's one of the places in Camelot that you can't hear Gawain's boasting. And I love wine. Let's hurry and open the bottle. Arthur, lend us your blade. What for? We have a tradition where opening very special casks of wine, or bottles in this case. Arthur draws his legendary sword as Gawain places the wine bottle on a table. One that my wife should take part in. Arthur spins the sword with a flourish and offers its hilt to you. Let me guess, I'm going to cut the top of the bottle off. Strike the cork of the bottle, fast and true. Make the wine flow. But don't forget to say a few words first. You lift Excalibur, eyeing the neck of the bottle. Very well. I'm Queen Guinevere, and since I now have this blade, I'm killing everyone in this room. No, I mean, I'm kidding. I'm grateful to share this moment with everyone here. I am honored to call you all my comrades. Likewise. You swing Excalibur in an effortless arc that slices the cork cleanly off the bottle. Except that's not how that worked, because the cork is partially in the bottle, but I digress. Excellent swing! Wine retrieves the bottle and fills the goblet up. Now, for our true purpose of the evening, giving thanks to our new Queen Guinevere. I have never met a braver soul than yours, my lady. I wish you a long, happy life here in Camelot. He drinks and passes the goblet to Yvain. Your determination is an inspiration to me. I wish that such determination will always be rewarded. She hands the goblet off to Morgana, who swirls it thoughtfully. I was rather determined not to like you, but despite my best efforts, I failed. You are truly one of the kindest people I know, and I wish you equally kind companionship. She drinks, tears fill your eyes as Kay, Gareth, and Percival follow suit. A virtuous woman for a virtuous kingdom. An inspiration to us all. No kinder heart in all the realm. Thank you all. You're too generous. The goblet reaches Lancelot next. He rises and smiles at you. All of these qualities come from one place, your heart. So I wish you love, Queen Guinevere. He hands the goblet to Arthur, who lifts it solemnly, his smile warm. Our love will be eternal. My heart would wither without your presence to renew me with life each day. Finally, the goblet passes into your hands. Now it's your turn. I raise this glass to my loyal allies, my husband's charms, the health of the kingdom. Long may Camelot avoid the horrors of war. Long may she enjoy plentiful harvests and riches. And long may her people live healthy and happy. Take a long drink from the goblet as Arthur smiles, a loving smile meant just for you. And now we have celebrated the finest couple in all of Camelot. Even I must admit that they are irritatingly well matched. And they have brought us a victory on a long-awaited quest. Does that mean I'm a knight of the Round Table? Near enough to one, I'd say. You finish wine's delicious wine before heading back to the reception hall, arm in arm with Arthur, and trailed by your knights and friends. You return to the hall triumphant, but after a few more celebratory drinks, the Lady of the Lake glides through the entryway. She claps her hands and the whole room goes silent. It is time for the happy couple to share a traditional dance before we join them in revelry. What does she mean by that? Come with me and you'll find out. You follow your new husband to the center of the room, where the Lady of the Lake places your left palm to the palm of Arthur's. Let this ribbon bind them together for this dance, as love already binds their hearts. She holds a delicate ribbon aloft for the crowd to see, then ties it around your hands, joining you together. Musicians, if you please. The music starts and the court watches as the two of you circle one another, hands bound together as firmly as your futures are. Just follow my steps. Do I have any other choice? We're bound together. I believe that's the point. Join your fingers with his and let him lead you in the dance as the music picks up. By the end, you're spinning breathlessly together before the final step brings you chest to chest. My beloved wife. My king. This dance would be even better with a kiss. Then allow me to remedy the situation. Arthur dips his head to claim your lips in a passionate kiss. All of his regal poise vanishes in that embrace, as if the weight of the crown means nothing to him while he is in your arms. You kiss him back with the same eagerness before the crowd cheers and rushes to join the dance around you. Come on, Gawain, dance with me. If you insist. Lady Morgana, would you... No, thank you. You're a nice man, Sir Percival, but a little young and... saccharine for my tastes. Saccharine, that's actually the first time I've ever heard that word. Ignore her, Percival, I'll dance with you. Oh, thank you, Sir Gareth. Friends span around you, laughing, dancing. The whole hall full of merriment. Would you like me to show you the dance, lad? I think my legs are too short to keep up. Well, you're Arthur's family. It makes you mine too, and we don't leave family behind. How about you ride on my shoulders? See that you don't drop him, Kay? Don't worry, Morgana. Kay is one of the sturdiest knights of the Round Table. You dance with Gawain and Palamedes, Kay and Mordred on his shoulders, Percival and Yvain. You dance long into the night until finally... May I have this dance, my wife? Of course. You step happily into Arthur's arms. Dance is winding down as exhausted revelers drift off to sleep, and you sway against Arthur's content. I don't think I've ever grown tired of this. Holding me? That too, but I meant this. He bends close to murmur into your ear, calling you my wife. I don't think I'll ever tire of hearing it. And how does my wife feel about slipping away? There's something I want to show you in the Round Table's hall. His lips brush your earlobe, his voice full of warmth and suggestion. And with all my nights busy celebrating, no one will dare disturb us. This is your last chance with Arthur, and a moment to celebrate your wedding night. I know, some of you would like this scene. But as the book said, it's the last chance we're ever going to get, because apparently, you know, they're ending it. I understand. It has been an eventful day. An unforgettable one. But if you're willing, I would still like to fall asleep beside you. You can come back to my quarters with me. Why not take you to the royal quarters? There you go. I would like that very much. When the festivities finally die down, you and Arthur stroll through the darkened halls together. He escorts you to a room you've seen once before, but this time it is no vision. You help each other strip out of your wedding finery and curl up together under the covers. This place is every bit as wonderful as I remember, though I did not get to try out the bedding before. When were you here before? That is a story for tomorrow. Right now I need you to hold me. Well, if that is an order from my queen. He pulls you close, his embrace gentle and comforting. Sleep well, my love. I will, so as long as I'm sleeping beside you. You drift to sleep. I like that. Held safe and warm in your husband's arms. The next morning you wake up next to Arthur. He smiles at you in the early dawn light, and you smile back. Falling asleep beside you was wonderful, but waking up beside you is even better. How fortunate for us, then, that we have a lifetime of both to look forward to. The two of you rise from the bed and dress, sharing kisses, warm, intimate smiles as you lace each other's clothing. Together you step onto a nearby balcony to watch the sun rise over Camelot. That's a pretty sky. I love that. Isn't it beautiful? It is, thanks to you. You've brought peace and joy to Camelot and to me. And you have given me a beautiful home to love and protect. He wraps his arms around you and gazes out at your city. Have you seen any glimpses of our future together here? Any surprises to be ready for? You open yourself to the world and a vision sweeps over you, not full of flames and terror as you once foresaw, but laughter and joy. You sit beside Arthur in a regal chair of your own, as the Knights of the Round Table, your Knights of the Round Table, chat amiably around you. If your father plans to visit just before the winter solstice, we should revisit your idea of starting a winter festival. Perhaps we could throw one to welcome him. I would love that, and so would he. It was a brilliant idea from a brilliant queen. The people need some joy during harsh winter months. And an excuse to play. Shouts suddenly echo down the hallway, followed by an unexpected sound Hoofbeats? What is... Wee! Look at my pony, Uncle Arthur! Mordred rides his pony into the Great Hall, tracking mud in its wake, trailed by Gawain and Gareth. Come now, my young cousin. Second cousin? I forget the term. Stop rambling and catch the pony's bridle, brother. Before you and Arthur can form words, Mordred has trotted back out with his brothers in hot pursuit. I did tell you he might be too young for his own pony. My queen is right, as usual, but I think our nephew also had an excellent idea. Riding through the halls? Getting some fresh air. What do you say to a walk in the gardens with me while our knights handle the festival details? He rises from the table and offers you his hand, and you rise to take it, smiling. Collecting all the visions unlocked a bonus scene. Why, Your Majesty, I think that is your best suggestion yet. Your mind drifts back to the present, where Arthur is gazing at you expectingly. Did you see something? I did. It was full of love. We will be busy with our duties at times, but we will find even more joy in them together. And we will always make time for us. Are you certain? I have never been more so. Smiling, he pulls you into a kiss, slow and deep. And as the sun fully rises over Camelot, you look out over your new home with your husband, knowing that this day is only beginning. The perfect beginnings to the happiest of endings. Flashbang. I'm serious. That's pretty. Reminds me of like a 32-bit game. Oh, okay. So Choices doesn't even give us a, hey, thanks for playing, yada yada yada. What a surprise. Anyway, with that being said, hopefully you all did enjoy the chapter. Hopefully you enjoyed the work that I did. If you did, let me know in the comment section below, but also drop a like, share the video, share the channel, and hey, subscribe if you're not already. And head down to the description down below. Plenty of cool things there. That being said, looks like we were able to finish another book after all, huh? Together. And hopefully many more, right? With that being said, just a TLDR. Things are going according to plan, just a little slower than I would have liked. For those of you who know, you know. For those of you who don't, you should perhaps check out the channel and or it's me popping up on a video. How about that? But things should begin here very soon. Hopefully all is well. Right? Hopefully all is well. I know I'm kind of tired. It's getting late. And also just a little bit drained today, so I was a little loopy doing this video. But I did enjoy it. And I do enjoy making content for all of you, and I enjoy covering it. So yeah, thanks again for watching. Love your beautiful faces. I'll catch you all in the next video. Peace out.